Let's bring in our panel, national security analyst and chairman for Act for America, Brigitte Gabriel, senior geopolitical strategist, Black Hawk helicopter pilot, Darren Gobb. They gave them sandwiches, the IDF forces says, the selfie yacht, everyone's okay, but they did have them watch some October 7th videos. Brigitte, I'm going to start with you on this spectacle and how disgraceful it is.
It is a spectacle. This is a publicity stunt. And, Greta, supposedly the climate issue was her life's mission. So obviously that's not that important right now. There are more pressing issues that get more publicity, such as the Israeli-Palestinian conflict. And this selfie video that she recorded about her being kidnapped, it looks like that few of them had pre-recorded these videos, obviously knowing they're going to be intercepted by Israel. And it's a part of the whole publicity stunt. And obviously, they were met with sandwiches, with water, and you can see the smile on her face with her picture released when they were handing her the sandwich. That's not the picture of somebody who's kidnapped. A picture of somebody who's kidnapped is Shiri, the mother with her two young sons, the redheads, who were kidnapped by Hamas and killed. That's the horror that Israelis experience when it comes to kidnapping. Greta did not experience kidnapping. This whole thing is a publicity stunt, and I think it's backfiring on them. It's a big poof, nothing there.
No, and that's why it's so disgraceful. I mean, they are fine. 11 others on this publicity stunt, mentioning the fact they had to watch videos from October the 7th. I don't even know if it would reach her or make her see things in a different way. Darren, she just is that far gone. But maybe I'm just being too skeptical and too negative on that.
Well, I think it's a pretty honest assessment, Bianca. It's shame on those who are using her. And even though she's reaching the age very quickly where she knows full well what she's doing, there are people behind her who've been funding her, who've been pushing her from the start. And I find it just straight up disgraceful. And when my wife was watching her in action, my wife's a special education teacher who works with autism spectrum children. She said that Greta is very clearly somewhere on that spectrum of autism. So it's not just that they're using her, it's the fact that they're using someone like her to advance an agenda and put in front of the cameras in order to garner sympathy from people for the things that they do. They knew they weren't going to get to Israel. They had to claim she was in international waters or she'd have been arrested on the beach. Right. So they got what they wanted.
Yeah. It's just, then we're watching L.A. There's some live images coming here, and we've seen Palestinian flags, Mexican flags, all that. So it's just the cause that these, radicals want to continue to pretend when we know that there are October 7th was the atrocities. And here we are. So let's talk about what's happening in London today. Very big, important meeting. You had Treasury Secretary Scott Bessent, Secretary of Commerce Howard Lutnick. They're in these strategic talks with China. Rare earth minerals. They're hoping to get a deal. But a lot of this comes to a wider conversation. I'll start with you, Brigitte, because China's economy is crumbling. President Trump was invited to go there. But this type of trade deal, more fair, more balanced, but it's also about, in a way, decoupling from China and getting a better deal when it comes not just to rare earths, but semiconductors.
Exactly. And President Trump has a plan. We needed to start yesterday in developing our own energy independence, our own independence from China. We right now rely on China for everything. I mean, I think after COVID, Americans realizing that even our I-95 masks or our antibiotics were coming from China, I think that was a wake-up call for Americans. And that's why there's a lot of support right now for President Trump to decouple from China, to own our own industry, to manufacture our own product. And that's exactly what this whole theater of the tariffs is all about. This is actually real work that the president is trying to do. China had a strategic plan that they started implementing about 30 years ago. We have a plan, we have a lot of talk, but we're not strategically implementing it. And right now, President Trump is trying to do exactly that. By the end of the day today, we will know exactly how weak or not weak China is and where we're going to get with these tariffs attack. But one thing is for sure, President Trump is determined to finalize this deal and come up to something where we both are happy and definitely a deal that will benefit the United States.
Yeah, and China is bending. I mean, the Wall Street elites were all hoping this wouldn't happen. It's happening. And there we have it. So Trump, again, putting pressure and leverage in the right way. 3D chess. It seems to be working. Darren, your final thoughts?
Yeah, that's part of it. And I would say that we submitted a 30-page report to Congress on China's land and commodity ownership throughout the United States, as well as around military installations that kind of woke up a whole lot of people. And hopefully they stay awake and take action on what the report is that we gave them, and showed just how much of the businesses, the land, the commodities, and so many things around the United States have been infiltrated by the CCP, either directly or through proxies, and purchasing them, controlling them, and using them against us on our own soil. It's not just decoupling from mainland China. It's decoupling from the Communist Party influence that is a cancer all across the 48 states, Alaska and Hawaii.
Yeah, and the tentacles are here, as we saw with the arrest last week of the couple, Chinese national, and the agricultural terrorism agent that they smuggled in, and connections to Michigan. It's all about the grant money as well, which we got to follow. Thank you so much, Darren Gott, Brigitte Gabriel. Appreciate your thoughtful comments today.